right? So this is a suggestion via a channel member. Guys, let's go and check it out. Let's jump into it.
This is an insane plan. They are talking about stealing the Venezuelan oil at gunpoint as leverage to micromanage the country. The scope and insanity of that plan is absolutely stunning.
And even in this cockamamie plan they have, the money would go back to Venezuela. The American people are saying that's America first.
Joining me now is House Republican Conference Chair.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Listen, Chuck Schumer is like the most disingenuous person I've probably ever encountered in my life, at least modern day, at least. There are a couple more, but they're generally from the same, they generally have a D in front of their name. But either way here, I want to point this out here. Yes, the benefit of definitely being able to manage their oil, if that's the case here, and then funneling money back to Venezuela would absolutely be America first, because guess what we no longer have to do? Okay, we no longer have to take basically the entirety of their country into our southern border. So, in fact, if we do have the ability to basically make it so they can sustain themselves there, then they no longer have to basically flood our southern border. So, yeah, in fact, yeah, America first.
Congresswoman Lisa McClain. Congresswoman, it's good to see you. Welcome. I guess let me start off with getting your reaction to what your colleagues on the left are saying about this plan in Venezuela.
Listen to them. They want corruption. They want fraud. They want to support the corruption and the corrupt leaders around the world, here, but also around the world. So let me remind everybody, like Chuck Schumer said, this is a cockamamie plan. Mr. Schumer, this is sanctioned oil that is driven by a corrupt individual. So sanctioned oil. We are going to do the right thing, which should have been done a long time ago. And the Democrats always talk about a humanitarian effort. But now all of a sudden, since President Trump is going to use some of those proceeds from the sanctioned oil to actually go back and help humanitarian efforts in Venezuela, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, because it's not Biden.
I mean, you got to figure out if you're a Democrat, Kamala. Where do you stand? You got to stop talking out of both sides of your mouth.
President Trump is establishing a new DOJ division to focus on national fraud enforcement. He did that on Thursday after we saw Democrats go off the rail at a House oversight hearing on the massive fraud scandal in Minnesota as well. I want to get your take there. Here's what happened earlier this week. Watch.
Ma'am, this grandstanding nonsense
this is not grandstanding.
Exactly
this is
what Minnesotans hate about D.C.
This is accountability, and you are hypocrites. So again, I will take your refusal to
Mr. Chairman, order, decorum. She's off the rails.
Reclaiming my time. I'm not off the rails.
Oh yeah, you are. Like, you're screaming for literally no reason. Like, I mean, I get it. You're passionate, right? But deliver whatever you're trying to say, at least, in a very palatable manner. Because other than that, you look crazy.
Accountability, and you are hypocrites. So again, I will take your refusal to
Mr. Chairman, order, decorum. She's off the rails.
Reclaiming my time. I'm not off the rails, please.
You are totally off the rails.
Nancy, enough with your tropes. Give me my time back.
They haven't identified fraud. The IGs have failed. But anyway.
You all have failed.
No,
you all continue to fail. We've done nothing. You've had the gavel, Mr. Comer. We barely do hearings on anything that actually affects change.
Well, an embarrassing hearing, to say the least, Congressman. There's mounting evidence of major taxpayer fraud, not only in Minnesota, but across the country. And Democrats want to make a spectacle of it. How are you going to get to the bottom of all of this?
Right. Well, the problem is we are getting to the bottom of it. We are exposing it. I mean, my hat off to Chairman Comer. To have to deal with that type of individual is just insane. We are exposing the fraud. Now, the fraud is over $9 billion. And who pays that $9 billion? The hardworking American taxpayer. You would think everybody would be on board to make sure that the hardworking American taxpayer money goes to programs that actually help the people who need it most and not fraud. But what you see repeatedly from the Democrats is they want the waste, the fraud, and the abuse. And by God, if you expose that, then we're the criminals for exposing it. I mean, the world is completely upside down on the other side of the aisle.
Okay, guys, I definitely probably say like yes and no. I don't think they want specifically the idea of fraud, and I don't think that's kind of their mission statement. But I do think that they're not willing to risk the people who are actually like in need of things for the sole people for the other people who are just there to kind of commit fraud here. I think that's kind of the vibe I get from a good amount of the Democrats when they speak, at least. But that still doesn't really fix the issue here. You're making it look like, on the outside at least, that your sole purpose is to kind of allow fraud to exist because you're doing nothing about it, because you don't want to offend the people, right? Rather than fix the actual problem. But I think that's kind of what it is on the kind of the grand scheme of things here. They just don't want the people who actually need it to be taken off, even though, because it's like one of these 80-20 like these 80-20 issues for the most part that they consistently fight for. If that makes any sense here, the 20% of people could definitely be legitimate on the programs, right? But then 80% are basically committing all types of fraud. We're going to go ahead and ignore them and basically focus on only the 20% of people who actually may be there like in a legitimate form or fashion. That's kind of what I take from it, but it still just means we're going to be wasting a lot of money on fraud.
Well, I mean, look, you've got that story in Minnesota, but you've also got the story of what happened this week to a woman who was shot and killed by an ICE agent as Democrats continue to attack what ICE and this president is doing on immigration and illegal migration. Congresswoman, when is this going to stop? Do you have any plans to help unify this country?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, what I would remind everybody who wants to protest, take a look at Martin Luther King. He changed the world's ideology, and he protested peacefully, compassionately, with no violence. Perhaps they should go back and take a page out of his book, because look at under President Biden, millions of people entered this country illegally, and criminals, gang members. Where is the left's rage when these gang members shoot a law enforcement officer? Where is that rage? I mean, you have the governor and the mayor of Minneapolis telling the federal government to get out of their city. Okay, wait. Get out of my city, but make sure you keep sending me the money so I can pay the fraudulent individuals. I mean, this is absolutely
kind of counterproductive,
ludicrous. But this is what's going on. This is what happens when you don't have a leader. But without law and order, this is what you get: anarchy and chaos. We got to get back to law and order.
All right. Well, look, this is a midterm election year. What are your plans to hold on to the majority in the House? Congresswoman, a lot of questions.
Okay, guys, I want to go back to one thing she said here.
Plans to help unify this country.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, what I would remind everybody who wants to protest, take a look at Martin Luther King. He changed the world's ideology, and he protested peacefully, compassionately, with no violence. Perhaps they should go back and take a page out of his book, because look at under President Biden, millions of people entered this country illegally, and criminals, gang members. Where is the left's rage when these gang members shoot a law enforcement officer? Where is that rage?
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I heard her correctly here. Firstly, I definitely would probably say Malcolm X did a little bit more, but I do think that for people of European descent, I do think that Martin Luther King probably kind of moved the needle specifically with that group, at least, right? But either way, when it comes down to this specific ICE issue here, I've kind of been saying for a little bit now, you do know that if he would have been absolutely obliterated on the pavement, right, there would have been a gigantic amount of people who are all up in arms right now, basically making TikTok videos, doxing family information, dancing in the location where he basically lost his existence, right? You understand, like, this is what we're talking about right now. Like, this is the point in history we are in the United States of America, where people have just gone into their corners. It's just tribalism. This doesn't even feel real. Having a conversation, even like, what can we do to fix these issues? I don't even want to have the conversation anymore, bro. Right? I do not think that there is a way we can fix this issue we have in the United States of America. I don't see it anymore. I do think that maybe 5 years ago we probably could have 7 years ago, we probably could have done something a little bit more. But I do not think that there's much hope in fixing this issue any longer here, guys. I mean, there's going to have to most likely be like another party that basically pops up that has the ability to kind of compete, because if not, we're just going to be running into a consistent scenario where we have a one-party system where everyone is going to vote one way, and then the other party is going to vote kind of the other way. But I guess that's kind of how this is now. But what I'm trying to point out here, at least, is that we're going to have a one-party system. One party is going to consistently win. There was an interview with Ilhan Omar, and she was basically saying the American people want this. No, they don't. No, they don't. It's just like when the right basically comes out and says the American people said this. Not really, because again, nothing is 100%, and no one gets 100% of the votes. So the entirety of the American people want completely different things. We have gone into these two corners where we need to find a way out of, but I have no idea how to even suggest it, because that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't think that there's much hope left in that. Right? It's too polarizing. The sides are too far apart from each other. Like, everyone has their own opinion of what the video showed. It's like legitimately showing, like a couple of years ago, there was like a video popping up and going around of like a blue or a purple dress or something like that, guys. And you would ask people, what color is the dress? And some people would say blue, and other group would say like purple, right? And it's like one of these things here where it's like, it doesn't even matter anymore. What is the truth? The truth is always going to be the truth. There are going to be some truth seekers out there that want to know the truth, right? But then other people that are going to see the same exact thing and kind of just live off of how it makes them feel. And I'm starting to find that this is ridiculous, bro. Okay? It's frustrating to me, personally. But either way, guys, keep sending me these videos. We'll keep commenting, obviously, but it would be nice if we can kind of get this out of the news cycle. We can kind of move back on to other types of things. But either way, we're here for it. Listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys later. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings. And we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry. Right? Listen, like and subscribe.